have my Honda belt right here, and I didn't even think I was gonna have to do this, but unfortunately my gates one crapped out. This is the serpentine belt, so I'm gonna be replacing this thing today for you guys because I have all cracks in my other one. Coming out to midnight, guys. She's actually looking pretty good. I hand washed this thing last night because I have an event for tomorrow, which is Honda Fest. Show you guys the current situation here. Some tools you're gonna need for the job, guys. You're gonna need a ratchet, a torque wrench, 14mm wrench, 14mm socket, and you're gonna want a bigger breaker bar, something like this for some type of leverage. And obviously your new parts, if you guys have a new belt or if you have a new idler right here, new idler pulley, go ahead and take this thing off today so that we can put the new Honda belt on. I take this idler pulley off. I got a new idler pulley that I have here. I was going to use this for my K24 swap. I've been kind of just like piecing little parts together and stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to use that yet. Obviously I have the new belt, so I'm going to take this idler off, see how everything like feels or whatnot. But this belt is pretty bad, guys, and I'm glad that I caught the cracks early on before the belt actually blew out on me. So all right, that's off. Let's separate that from the belt. Before I take the belt off, I'm just gonna jack up this side here. I don't think I need to take the wheel off, but I'm gonna see what happens when I jack this thing off the ground. But I wanna make sure and keep note on how the belt is on the pulleys and stuff, so that when I go to install the new belt, it's easy just on, and I don't have to play a guessing game on like how the belt went on. So I have a diagram. I can sweat my balls off right now. It's like 90 degrees, but I'll bring up a diagram for you guys afterwards so you could see the proper installation of the belt. Don't forget one of these, guys. All right, so the belt is off from the top, guys. As you can see, I'm gonna bring you guys under here, under the vehicle. And we don't need to take the tire off. It just makes life a little bit easier. The belt from under the vehicle, and it's already sagging down, but all we need to keep in mind is that it goes around the harmonic balancer, which is that pulley right there, and it goes around the AC compressor on the bottom. Most of you probably didn't see that, but here's a little bit better of a diagram. Sorry, I'm sweating like a pig right now. It's like 90 degrees, but here we are right here. Here's a little diagram for you. You got the crankshaft, you got your AC compressor, that's the water pump, and then it comes up to the, I think that's, one of these is the tensioner, and that's the idler pulley on top. So it's literally gonna go just like that. All right, so we're back up at the top. I'm gonna completely just kind of push this down. It's just easier coming out through the bottom, I guess. There we go, guys. There is the whole belt. All I gotta do is just get it from under that AC compressor. There's the gates, as you guys can see. There's all the little cracks that are pretty much forming right now, and it's literally down the whole belt. So here's the one I was worried about, where I came out to the car the other day and I'm like, yeah, I think I need to replace it because of that one right on the edge there. So not a bad idea. I'm gonna actually compare this to the other one and see how much more stretched this thing was. About the same, honestly, but just gonna rotate this thing, the tensioner. Everything seems to be operating right. I think it was just the belt that like crapped out on me, so I'm gonna just keep the old tensioner and I'm going to keep this idler pulley, but I think I'm going to add some grease around this little bushing here. This thing rotates a lot, so this piece right here sees a lot of hours. All right, so let me just pull up the diagram again. So here we have our diagram. So I'm going to start off on the bottom. I'm going to go around the crankshaft and the AC compressor first, and then make my way up around the water pump, and then up through the pretty much tensioner and the idler pulley. So easiest way to get the belt back on is to pretty much go in through the bottom and feed it up through here. Once you get it up through here, you could pull it and literally just slide it sideways over the pulleys, guys. And then you can go back down on the bottom and then line everything up on the bottom. But the reason why we want it to be on up top, so that when we're aligning stuff on the bottom, we're not pulling it back through the bottom there. So I got it over the alternator pulley right now and the auto tensioner. So I'm gonna go back down to the bottom, put it over the crank, around the water pump, and then back up to the top. I'm gonna feed this sideways through here. Put this. Sorry, it's hard to see, guys, but all right. So we got it pretty much on like that. As you can see, for the most part, we're aligned. I got it around my crankshaft, harmonic balancer. It's around the AC compressor, and it's around the water pump. So once that's done, we're gonna go up to the top now, and we can feed up some tension and get it around the main idler pulley. Patient with it, guys. It is tricky if you don't have the diagram like I showed you before. It's gonna look something just like this right here. So obviously start off at the bottom, feed your way up. So now that I'm up here, I have to pull this back around the alternator like so. Make sure that doesn't slide off. And then now from that, we could tighten it a little bit. All right, so obviously we got too much tension. We don't have enough tension right now. So what we need to do is this backside, we have to go down around the tensioner and then up and then around that. So it should look just like this. Then we're gonna come up around. I gotta put my wrench on that tensioner bolt right there, guys. 14 millimeter, stick it on that bottom tensioner bolt. And you're gonna take a big breaker bar, 1/2 inch drive preferably, pull towards you, and you can see that the tension is releasing. So once that tension is released, make sure your belt is all lined up, and you could simply just fold it right over. It's not going on properly the first time. You guys gotta crawl down here and just check. You can see right there, it's not even sitting flush on my crankshaft. So there it is. I think my AC compressor is good. Yup. And now we could retry it again and see if it'll go right over it. Pull back towards yourself with the tensioner, and you should be able to feed the belt up around the idler. Sure everything looks good before you release the tensioner, and when you release it, like so, just double inspect. Just inspect everything, guys. Take your wrench off, check the tension on it. Everything seems like it's okay. This belt definitely looks better than what I had, so right now we're just gonna run it. All right, so now the most important part, when you guys have the belt on, go and check the torque rating for the tensioner bolt. So I've read a lot of forums. A lot of people sometimes just do hand tight, but I prefer to torque it just to be on the safe side. So this bolt should be about 16 pound-feet of torque. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my torque wrench right here, and we're gonna set it to, let's see, I said what, 16? It's thundering right now, so I gotta go ahead and clean up everything. I got all my tools on the ground here, but yep, the new belt is in, guys. I still have my spare idler pulley. Hopefully I'll save that for when I get my K24 engine soon, as well as some other goodies here and there. I made a video a while ago on how to do the idler pulley, and I didn't really do an extreme explanation on how to take off the belt or put it back on. So I wanted to show you guys how to do that in more detail. So we're running a new belt. This thing should be good for who knows, maybe 50K, 100K, so pretty much until it turns brown, I guess. But she's got the new belt on her. So stay tuned for some more do-it-yourself videos, guys. I'm going to show you how to adjust the headlights on your 8th gens, guys, if you need that done, because I just put in new lights a little while ago, and for some reason these weren't like preset to where I wanted them, so I kind of been driving it for a while without them adjusted right. So right now my lights are literally, instead of being straight on, they're pointing like super down, so I'm like kind of losing distance. But I'm going to show you guys how to adjust the headlights soon, the light bulbs in general. Still have the power steering issue, guys, the electric steering. The light comes on pretty much like every time I start it. I came up with a slight solution, but I'm going to start looking into methods to try to eliminate that. The K-tuned AC power steering delete, but I'm not really sure. I like having my AC, but you guys will see more on the electric steering issue in the next videos to come. So stay tuned for my next do-it-yourself video and Honda videos in general, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and remember, never stop wrenching. A lot of you guys are asking when I'm going K24 or what my future plans are with this car. Obviously, I want to stay all motor for a while. I want to get my K24 TSX motor, K24 A2. So I'm just waiting on the time. Maybe I'm thinking during the winter. I really want to get a storage unit, guys, because this whole wrenching in the backyard is kind of like ridiculous, a little excessive. So I mean, obviously I'm using plywood right now and just budget ways, but I want to get a storage unit for maybe the winter time. So hopefully I can make that happen. And then I want to rebuild the K20. If I pull the K20 out, I'm just going to leave it out, swap the K24 in, rebuild the K20, build the head maybe, a little bit of block work and stuff like that, and then I'll just straight throw in the K24. But I got to make sure that thing has maintenance. Then I'll probably do the chain tensioner, guides, all the simple stuff. So stay tuned, guys. The future's bright. It's just the beginning with the SI right here, midnight obviously, so she's a project for a reason. I fixed the coolant leak, by the way. I meant to show you guys that. But all in all, guys, super hyped that I got this crappy Gates belt replaced, because knowing my luck, this thing would have just freaking split out on the highway. Look at this. Look at that crack right there. That thing was just waiting to let go. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's see if we did this job right. Start it up.